Welcome back to another episode of Shit I'm 30. We're getting closer to our live show October 20th.
Whoop.
Now we're mid-September. We just passed September 11th, so that was a big day for us here. I feel like it's not being represented like it was a couple years back.
It's really not.
I didn't see a lot of September 11 posts.
I really didn't.
I didn't see a lot of RIPs to this, and I'm like, wow, it is 17 years ago.
Well, and you have to think, too, like, maybe not in our news feeds, but just in general, like, a lot of people weren't even born then. Or it didn't impact them the way it did. Like, it's phasing out to, like,
people
who it
that are
impacted.
25 now were only 8 then.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah.
That makes me feel really old. Well, that voice you guys hear is actually my number one supporter of my shits here in Orlando.
That would be me.
And that is my really good friend, Jena. She just saved my ass today.
I did. Can
Literally.
we talk about what you were going to talk about?
Well,
Because I told I was dying.
So I had a guest coming, and we're going to talk about dating older men, specifically a man that's twice her age.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was also a lesbian before him.
So I'm in school, and Carla's like, hey, can you come help me do this podcast? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. What do you want to talk about? And I'm like, well, what was the guest? And I was like, well, I can't help you. I have nothing that exciting going on in my life. But I'll come. I'll help you.
No, she has plenty of exciting things. We're just not going to talk
Now
about
that we can talk about on here.
But we will not talk about them. We're going to start off with shit you should know. And with the hurricane, what is her name? Florence that's coming right now towards the Carolinas. What?
My window's broken at the salon.
Oh my God.
And our claim adjuster was named Florence, and she quit, and it took like 3 weeks to figure out what was going on because this bitch quit in the middle of our adjustment. So I'm talking to Janine, and I'm like, and Florence is coming, and like we can't have hurricane, like we can't have, and she's like, Florence? The insurance adjuster? And I'm like, no, the fucking hurricane, Janine. Like, it's so funny.
What a fucking name for an insurance adjuster right now.
Yeah.
Well, she's shitty, and so is the
And
hurricane.
they're both really shitty Florences. Yes.
Florence is coming towards the Carolinas, so I hope that everyone that's up there is taking care, and if you taking care of themselves and really evacuating. And if you have family up there, you know, I hope that they're all okay. But in the midst of all this, we have a report that came in the news that $10 million from FEMA was diverted to pay the immigration detention centers. There was a document that came out. So basically, Trump's organization,
sounds a little shady.
Of course, took $10 million to put towards an account for ICE. For detention centers and removal operations of illegal immigrants. The documents also show that the Department of Homeland Security transferred the money from accounts at Custom and Border Protection that pays for border, fencing, and technology. So this piece of shit president
That's
of
like
ours.
all the thoughts that were going through my head.
Right.
Like,
So it doesn't matter what we talk about Trump. It's not surprising. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Nothing surprises us, which is a terrible thing.
Awful. And it's the country we live in.
It is.
But it's our reality, so it doesn't surprise us. But what it should do is light more fire under our asses for us to go vote. A lot of local elections for us to make sure to get the fuck out there and do what we have to do and help. And if you don't know anything about politics or what's going on, read.
That's what Google's for.
Right.
It's not that
we
hard.
have Google.
We have Google. It's pretty easy to go on.
Spend a lot of time on Instagram.
Yes, we do.
And on Facebook. So
it's easy to research the candidates, go on their pages, see what they stand for.
Absolutely. Anything and anybody that Trump backs up, like DeSantis here in Florida.
Yeah.
Just
it's
don't
really
vote for
funny,
them.
like, to see their commercials, and they're like, Trump supports me. I'm like, okay, so that's a no for me. Like, I don't need you to say anything else.
At all.
Like,
What drives me crazy, though, is that, so I am actually a Republican. Like, I'm registered as one, and I've been that since the beginning, and I haven't changed it. But I'm really in the fence. But if you're an independent, you can't vote for a Republican or a Democrat. So I was really big, and I talked about it on the podcast. I was like, everyone needs to go out and vote. And I wanted to vote against DeSantis.
Got it.
So I'm like, we cannot have that man go on, because although we're all like, Trump is really fucking shitty, that man has a lot of supporters. And did you see how many came out to vote for that bastard?
Yeah, I did.
It didn't even take 12 hours for him to call Gilliam a fucking monkey.
No.
It was crazy. But anyways, the point is that Puerto Rico was fucked up from the hurricane. They were treated
and
like...
then they just put a report about that, how they haven't helped really anybody there.
No, there's still plenty of places. And FEMA denied a lot of the people that live in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And they're still without light. They really did not come and do what they needed to do. Trump still claims that they did the best they can do. Well, you know what, buddy? Out of the 50-something that y'all said actually died, it was over 2,000, I believe.
Yeah, way more people died than that.
Right. Like,
That's
come on.
bullshit.
It's bullshit. But it's just to know that don't depend on FEMA. Make sure you have your insurance because they're taking that money to go towards building cages for kids and taking families apart.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we have a shitty government right now. It's not going to change, but what can change is the fact that we can go out and vote.
Yes.
So make sure, Florida people, November, we are going to go vote. I will
be giving rides. As long as you're voting for who I want you to vote for.
Who do you want them to vote for?
Who do you think I want?
Gilliam?
Of course, girl.
Of course.
Of course.
So I'll give people rides too. Y'all can call me. We'll all ride
take
together.
The day off. What day is it on? Is it a
It was
weekend?
November. No, it's on a Tuesday always.
Okay, I will take Tuesday off and I will go give people rides.
Yes.
I have an SUV. I can fit a good 5 people, well, 4, including me, and we can just keep going.
We can put them in the trunk.
Yep, that's exactly what
I go get the Suburban. I can fit about 8 and about 4 in the trunk.
Is your seat fixed?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Oh, I don't know. So this. Oh man, my seat is broken. We're not. Next subject.
Okay.
There was something else that I saw that shocked me, and it was that the Indian's top court decriminalizes gay sex in a landmark ruling. So basically, India's Supreme Court has struck down a colonial-era law criminalizing consensual gay sex and overturning more than 150 years of anti-LGBT legislation. So we know that we're going through a thing here, I guess here in America, where it's, I'm not going to say popular, it's becoming more normal.
Yeah.
To be part of the LGBT community.
Yeah.
And although, of course, there's still like hate crimes just like there is for blacks, you would think that racism would be over, but it's not. It's very prevalent
really
here.
not at all.
So it's the same thing for the LGBT community. But in India, they just passed a law like now. It was a crime.
I feel like they're behind in a lot of things, like
very
human
much so.
Issues related.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not
and
too
women's rights too.
And women's rights, yeah.
But
so it's not too surprising.
Yeah,
to
it
me.
just shows where that although we're behind on certain things, there's other countries way further behind than we are.
Way more behind, yeah.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. So there was actually a ruling that there was a ban on 2009 for consensual gay sex that violated fundamental rights. It's just crazy to me. It
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It's completely insane. But just let's be grateful that we are here. So sometimes we have to count our blessings.
Well, I feel like people think America's really bad because we're in it and we see the media and we're like brainwashed, all these problems. But like when you go to some other countries, like you're like, bring me back home. I'm gonna go home. I'm ready to go home. Like, cause shit's real. Like, there's a lot happening in other countries.
It sucks that we're going through what we're going through, and we shouldn't because it's just basic human rights. But at the same time, it's better than other countries. And yeah, there's some countries that have it maybe a little better than us, but they also have other shitty things.
Yeah, like think about what do you have? Like
I don't know anything bad about Canada. Because everybody says Canada is so great. Is there anything bad about Canada?
I can't really think of anything bad.
So if anybody knows anything bad about Canada, let me know. Because I hear all those motherfuckers are happy all the time.
What is it, like Switzerland?
What's in Switzerland?
I don't know. I hear people are really happy there. Greenland? I don't know.
All these cold-ass countries, they have no other choice. They stay home all day. Of course, they're fucking happy. Yeah, but anyways, we're going to get into our topic. Okay, so like I said, this was on the limb, and I didn't know what to talk about with her. I'm like, what am I going to talk about that you will allow me to say? So I decided, you said mom life, balance life. And it makes sense because
you had an epic breakdown today.
I had an epic meltdown today. Plus, the fact that you really do with your son the same exact thing I do. It's just us.
Yeah.
They really have us.
All the time.
So basically, how old is your son and when did you have him? How old were you?
He's 10. So I'm 29. I just turned 29.
Almost 30.
So I'm like, am I even allowed to be on this podcast because I'm not 30?
Fuck you.
Love you. So I had him when I got pregnant when I was 17. I had him when I was 18. So like summer after high school.
Exactly like me. So you had him look at me. I'm on camera too. I was 17 as well, and I had him in May. It was a couple of days. I had a week and a half after I graduated.
Okay, no. I got pregnant the summer after graduating. Like right after graduating, pretty much.
Oh, so you graduated at 17.
Yeah. I'm like earlier, and like my birthday is in the summer.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Oh no, I was pregnant.
I
A
made
whole
it
pregnant person.
right out of high school.
At least you weren't pregnant in high school. You can say that.
I can say that, I guess.
I was pregnant my whole senior year, damn near.
I had a lot of fun my senior year.
No, I didn't. Definitely didn't. So basically, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, I feel like it's not talked about often, is child support. Mm-hmm. So do you receive child support? And I'll tell you why I asked this question.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Does that make you angry?
So here's my view on child support. And I talk about this with women all the time. So I had a decision to make. And I feel like in life, there's lots of decisions you can make. Like you can do this, you can do A, or you can do B. It's really the most things you have the options for. So I decided, obviously at a very young age of being 18, that, I didn't want to have to rely on it. And I was just like, this is what it is. I have this kid. I have to take care of them. And it was like, okay, so seeing other people who had kids, I see the struggle they have with the dads and, going to court and fighting with them, getting lawyers, arguing, oh, you didn't give me this, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And I don't think that's like a good relationship for the kid to be in. I feel like that's very stressful for you and the kid, just the whole dynamic as a family. And then also, too, I saw people who, if they didn't get their child support, they can pay their rent, or their kid can go to ballet, or, it's really affecting the kid because they're supplementing that as part of their livelihood, which, that might be the case for some people. So to me, I just made the decision pretty early on, like, okay, I'm just going to build me and Hayden's lives to where I'm not going to need that to take care of him. If I were to get it one day, great. I'm sure I could find uses for it. But as opposed to like spending that time, like thinking or going to the court or showing up or fighting with him or spending money getting lawyers, it was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to spend that time like working on my business, getting education, like investing in myself to where me and Hayden are fine. Like we don't have issue with that.
And that makes sense. I feel like you are someone that's not the norm.
No, I hear that a lot.
Especially for business and someone who has drive. Because you're a risk taker.
Yeah.
A big time risk taker.
Yeah.
With anything that you do. With me, I had Ayana, same age. We were married. Yeah. So he was around for a long time. Then he leaves and all of a sudden it's like, oh, so you divorced me and her.
Yeah.
And I spent 5 years with not a dime from her. Keep in mind, I didn't need it. I had my father. I had my family.
But I still think like you do feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, well, if like he's on a trip or like if you're doing something like, oh yeah, you can do all those things because like you don't have to worry about it. Like you don't have to spend money or you don't have to like spend time or have them all the time. Maybe my situation's a little different because I have the support of my family and my friends. So I travel.
And
I get to do things.
I had plenty of. I didn't need a damn thing, and she would leave. But it would make me so angry, and I don't know if it was more angry because you need to be in her life. Like, why aren't you here? Why aren't you doing what you need to do? And I was just so mad at certain times.
But I feel like that's a different circumstance. Like, so if you come from like we're married and we've made this child together, and you're kind of sold like that dream.
Well, you didn't make it together?
Family. Yes, we did, but like we were in this long-term relationship. Like we didn't have like this huge commitment with each other. Like it happened fairly quickly, and it was just like, okay, well, you're gonna go do what you're gonna do in your life. I'm gonna go do it. So I didn't have like maybe as much like resentment tied towards it as I feel like some women do, and like I feel like sometimes the child support and things like that are to like get back and be like, oh no, like you did this, like you're gonna be in this with me.
Well, you don't think that they need to pay half of what that child costs?
I think they should. It's not happening. And if it's not, what am I supposed to do? Not have shoes for Hayden, not have clothes, like correct. Not give him food. I don't have the option for that.
I feel like us single mothers are like superheroes. Yeah. Legit superheroes. Like people don't understand what we do. I don't think fathers understand
homework.
Deadbeat fathers. Homework when they're acting up.
Waking up at 7 every morning. Right. Taking care of them when they're sick.
Making sure you show up to school to pick them up so DCF isn't called. You know?
All that fun stuff.
Taking them to birthday parties. New friends. A friend was mean to them and now they're coming home.
Yeah, now you gotta deal with that.
Oh, play dates. Oh.
I fucking hate play dates.
I fucking hate
because I like the kids, but like, I don't always usually like the mom. So I'm like, I'll just pick your kid up. Like, I'm just gonna take your kid with us. That's fine.
I usually will take the kid, but I only do one, maybe two.
Yeah.
Too many just makes me itch.
No. Oh, no. I can only have 3 children at a time. That's my rule. I can't have more than 3 kids at a time.
Yeah, no.
No. Because I have 1 kid. I can
Wait. So 2 extra.
Yeah, I can do that.
Ugh.
I can't do more than that. Ideally 1 extra. But there's no way I can have like 4 or 5 children.
No.
I would lose my shit.
No. I'm definitely not doing that.
No.
But going back to the child support aspect, I feel like some women get so angry and so caught up, like you were saying, like the child support is what I need to make it happen. Or some women go to court and say, you know, you need to take care of me and your kid. No. Child support, one, is not to take care of you. No, you take care of you, and you take care of half of what your kid is. But men need to also realize that it's kind of angering, and it makes me mad sometimes when I'm thinking about it and I don't have any free time for myself. Or I have to depend on grandma or grandpa or auntie or uncle when you're the one that's supposed to be doing this. You made this damn kid with me. Do you not remember nutting? If you would have pulled out, this wouldn't have happened.
I can see that.
Or like mine, who's a pre-cum baby.
No,
hey, you know why I tell her that?
Known?
So we had the sex talk recently.
Yeah, I haven't got there with Hayden yet.
No, I don't think. You don't have to do that one.
Hayden's
for like
10. I'm pretty sure he has had most of it on YouTube or probably.
No, you can't.
I remember
on
like
YouTube.
going through his YouTube history when he was like 4 or 5, and I didn't even know it was like a thing. Now. He was watching naked yoga, and I'm like, oh god, this is all bad. So he appreciates bodies. I guess.
Well, I mean, coming from you're with naked people all day.
Yeah, and
he
Hayden's
knows
like
that.
a nudist at heart. He's always fucking naked. I'm always put some clothes on, Hayden. It's always naked.
Well,
so I know.
But that's a whole different talk. I had it, and I had it like a previous ones, like nobody can touch you, like if someone touches you wrong. We had that one.
Yeah, we've had that. Yeah.
So now we had like the real deal one, and I just remember telling her, you know what? I asked her first what she knew. She told me what she knew, and then I said, well, let me tell you something about babies and how they're made.
Yeah.
So they tell you, and I'm sure your friends and in class they've told you, you know, the semen and the egg and what has to happen for them. All that has to happen. She goes, well, let me tell you about pre-cum. You ever heard of pre-cum? She said, what is that? I said, well, you know, stuff comes out before, and most people will tell you that you can't come from that. But breathe. Are you breathing? You're one of them. You were made with that, okay?
Way to make her feel special.
Yes.
Like, you're not supposed to be here.
And I want her to know she's as hard-headed as she is, and she's as determined as she is to make my life miserable, because the sperm that made her was determined.
Yeah, she was determined.
Very fucking determined. So she needs to fucking know, 1, that it's real, and 2, that she's hard-headed because of it. I'm convinced that's why it fucking happened.
And I don't know how familiar you are with the child support system, but it's a fucking nightmare.
I had to go through it with divorce and child support.
Me too. Yeah. So you have to go to like the office, and then that's a whole nightmare. And then they, you know.
Is this if you don't have an attorney?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you do?
So I got a paralegal. So they filed the paperwork. So that was like $100 or something like that.
Okay.
And then she actually gave me some game on how to waive the fee, which is $400.
Oh, you say you don't have money?
Yeah. So I did that, signed the paper. I mean, I didn't have money. I was like 18, whatever. So, signed that paper, and then they gave you a court date. But then they kept rescheduling the court date, and then like his dad came to court one time and was like, "Oh, you know, I didn't know what we were doing." So then they rescheduled it, and it was just a nightmare. So then finally,
and once you get one court date for the next one, it's like 6-8 weeks. Like you can't get one the next day.
Yeah, no. So finally, you know, we get it resolved. He's on child support or whatever. And then, you know, there's no payment obviously happening. And then you just get a letter and it's like, oh, you have a court hearing, goes to the court hearing, doesn't do anything, go to court. So finally, I think I went to one court hearing, and I very quickly realized this is pointless and they're not going to do anything, and this is a waste of my time. And
Did he have a job though?
No.
Okay, so that's what made it a little bit harder.
Yeah, so I was like, well, they're not going to do anything. This is a waste of my time. I'd rather be working or doing something else. So I'm just not even. So I get like notifications sometimes like, hey, there's a court date or review of your case. Like, I just don't even show up because to me it's pointless.
And to some people, they need it. It's like they need the help and they don't have maybe the support. And although it is a pain in the ass if your sperm donor doesn't have a job, it's kind of hard to get anything from them.
Yeah, we'll be able to work under the table.
Right, but well, yeah, But if they do have a job, sometimes it's worth it. They will take it out of their check. So the way that I'm doing it now, I didn't get anything for almost 5 years, or like barely anything.
Well, they'll like get a job, but then as soon as it catches up with them and starts coming out of checks, they'll leave.
Right.
And then get another job, and then that whole process. Or just be self-employed. That
would suck because I haven't gotten to that. But mine, after 5 years, it's being taken out of the check, and it's great. But now I've been putting all that money straight into savings.
That's probably what I would do at this point.
And what I'm scared of is that it's going to come to a point where he's going to quit his job. And if I'm depending on that money, then I'll be fucked. I'm like, I haven't depended for that money for a long time, so I'm not going to use it, and I'll keep it in savings. So that's what I'm doing.
And that's just like a mindset.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have maybe at some point an attorney come or someone that knows how to navigate certain things in certain situations for the women and as well for the men. Because I feel like there's men out there that do want to be a part of their kid's life, and women use that leverage of, you need to pay me child support.
Well, yeah, if you don't pay me. So I think the biggest thing in this whole topic and this whole issue is that I didn't have a dad at all growing up, at all. Nothing. So to me, it was always very important that Hayden had his dad. So to me, I don't want to say something as little as money because it is important and it has big meaning to a lot of people. But me personally, something as little as money, which we didn't need, like Hayden was eating, he was taken care of, we had a place to live, we had shelter, it wasn't, important to our lives. That was never going to be the cause of him not having a relationship with his dad. And even sitting in here and having this talk with you, like, Hayden doesn't understand his dad doesn't pay or doesn't do things. Like, that's just his dad. He sees him. They have a great relationship. We have a great relationship with his family, like his dad's family. Right. And that was always way more important than money.
And it definitely is.
Yeah.
I can say a million times to dads, if you don't have the money, just spend the time. Because honestly, the time is something that you can't put value on. Pick them up from school. Take them to the games. Take them to whatever activities. Take them to the birthday parties. On the weekends, do things. Do homework with them. All that, and this is to women as well, all of that is so much more valuable.
So much more important. And if you are getting, like if they're fighting with you or you're getting that like hesitation to be involved because of the money, if you could just be like, hey, I know you have a lot. Maybe just let me get them this weekend.
But you know what? That doesn't even work with some women because I know one in particular that he can pick her up.
That's just really sad to me.
It's so sad. And
because you're really... The child is the one who's going to suffer.
Yes, and when the kid starts acting up and is doing certain things, you're wondering why. It's because you're hindering certain things from going on. Why are you arguing about a couple $100 when that person is doing everything for your kid?
Yeah, no, that's
it's ridiculous. Why are you being mad at this person or you're not liking the person who you chose to make a child with has nothing to do with money or the time. Let them spend the time. Yeah, just let them spend the time and shut the fuck up.
And like you said, too, like, important, like, you had a child with them, too. So it's easy to be like, you did this. No, bitch. Like, you got a child, too.
You laid on your back.
You laid there and you had a fucking kid, too.
Right, which is, I couldn't be, when I was upset because it's a girl. The girls need their dads. I had my dad, so I'm like, she needs that. And then I see some girls that didn't have their dad, and, you get the stigma of daddy issues. Do you have daddy issues?
Sure, I do. Are the stories making sense now? The ones that we can't talk about.
The ones that are off limits for the podcast. No, there are a lot of girls that do have daddy issues, and I'm like, I don't want my daughter to sit there and every man that comes along and promises her a dream, she takes it because your ass wasn't around. So the child support, it is a big deal, but I feel like you said, the time being spent is 10 times more important than anything else. Anyways, speaking of kids, so yours is 10. Mine is 13. Fuck. I asked you, have you ever had any meltdowns? So I'm going to talk about the fucking meltdown I just had with Hayden. Like, has he ever done anything so bad that you're like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to drop you off for adoption. Like, all of this.
Yeah. So second grade was really hard for Hayden. I don't know what the fuck happened. He just completely lost his mind. And he was so mean to kids and just like not listening, getting in trouble all the time. He was getting like those slips that you're supposed to take home that he was not taking home. So we had found that out, a couple of weeks before. And then he was in art class, decided to be an asshole that day apparently. And my thing is like, don't fuck with girls. Like, okay, maybe push a boy here and there. I'm not going to be happy about it, but like, don't touch a girl. Like, right. I will seriously hurt you. So this poor little girl, and I know all the kids because I go on field trips and everything. This poor little girl is so sweet, and she is like this little mixed girl. She's so fucking cute. He took her like artwork and dropped it on the floor and broke it. So,
for no reason?
No reason, because he was just being an asshole. He was an asshole, like, all of second grade. Like, I'm sure there was way more instances than this. This is just the one that sticks out to me. So I just, like, snapped. Like, I was driving him home from school. You know, he's telling me the story. And I just, like, pulled over into some neighborhood, into some, like, empty driveway. And he had, like, a bow and arrow toy in the trunk. And I just fucking took the bow. And I just beat the shit out of him. And, I mean, this is, like, past. What is it? Is there, like, a rule of law of how old, like, these guys can come after you? Like, is there a statute of limitations? Like, okay, so he was in kindergarten. And this is definitely over here. So, like, and I was so angry. And
Allegedly, I did
this. And I told him. And he was scared. Like, he knew, like, oh, shit, my mom snapped. Like, and I told him, I was like, I will keep this in my car and I will bring you here and we will come to this driveway every day after school if you don't get your life together. And I really think that was a turning point for us. Like, I didn't have that many more stories, but it was just like a girl and then like knowing her, and I just pulled off the road. I snapped.
You know, sometimes kids need that one whooping.
Yeah,
where they'll remember it.
That was and he talks about, he's like, remember when I had that, or like if we see a kid, he's like, remember that bow and arrow toy?
He's gonna see bow and arrows when he's older.
Yeah, like flashbacks.
Like, go by that driveway one day.
But this is how I judge, like, if you're doing a good job as a parent. Like, I could, if Hayden was sitting right here, I could just move and he jumps. Like, if I move and you jump, I did a good job. Like, you should be scared of me.
I don't abuse you. I just did a good job.
I did a good job.
So I have been there and I've done the whoopings and I've done all, like, I feel like I've done everything that I can, and I've gotten to the years that there's just nothing that you can do.
I mean, Hayden's about to be bigger. But that was the big thing, having a boy. Like, everyone told me, like, you have to discipline them. And I'm very, like, free and I love everyone and whatever. And I think people, even my friends, they tell me, like, how surprised they were that I actually discipline. And we would have bathroom time. We would have talks. Like, I had the look. Like, I would snatch him
by the ear and twist it.
I had to, because I know Hayden's going to be, like, some 6 foot, like, grown ass, 12-year-old looking grown ass man kid. Like, I'm not going to be able to be like, hey, listen to me. Like, I knew I had to do that when he was young. Yeah.
Right. And then, so you're at that age where he still looks at you like, mommy, like, I'm still a kid. Now I'm at the fucking age where she thinks she's me.
Yeah, and it's a different dynamic with mothers and daughters.
Completely different.
A whole different.
So, talking about meltdowns, and which is one of the reasons why we chose this today, ever since middle school started, hopefully you won't go through this, but she was a straight A student all through elementary.
Hayden never had straight A's. He's not like an academic, so I don't have to worry about this. We're happy with C's. What? So, okay, I'm excluded from this.
Well, in this household, it has to be mostly A's. You can sprinkle some B's in there, but that's it. Because there's no reason for her. Most of it, if she didn't understand the work and it was the testing that wasn't good, I can understand. But no, that's not the issue that we're having. Once middle school started, we started having the issue of not turning in work and just really not giving 3 fucks about school. Yeah. And I understand that it was right after my dad passed away, so school started right after he passed away. So 6th grade, I kind of gave her a pass.
Yeah, I understand.
7th grade, now you playing with me. And now you trying my life. So she got a few whoopings during 7th grade, and we were having talks, and I'm like, what the fuck can I do for you? She got beat with a notebook. Because she was supposed to write her shit in her notebook and she wasn't writing shit down. So I was like, give me the empty notebook. Bang, bang. Yeah. How does it feel?
Yeah.
So we finished 7th grade, not the greatest. Still A's and B's. I think she had 1 C. Fine. 8th grade starts. We have to talk. Ayana, come on. We're going to do this, right?
Finish it out.
Yes, we're going to start out good. It's a blank slate. Forget about 7th grade. We got this. And she's like, yeah. So we get, all new school supplies and a new backpack. And we're 8th grade, the last year. School just fucking started, bro.
It did, and it's all bad.
It hasn't been a month. And I'm pulling up today because she asked me to go to a birthday party last night, and she gave the mom my phone number, and she put me in a fucking group chat, and it's Android, so I can't remove myself. Oh God, and I'm sure it's probably like 40-something-year-old moms in their 50s. So
that's the worst part too. Like
the moms are older.
They're so old.
I don't know.
Like, they could be our moms.
Right.
It's really, yeah.
So I get all this. She's trying to go to this birthday party. So I'm dropping her off to school this morning. I'm like, let me just check your grades and how they're going. I open this fucking phone and I see 2 D's and a C. And I stopped. So she goes to school downtown. So I stopped in the middle of the brick road and pulled over right in front of, I think it's Graffiti Junction. Is that what's downtown?
Yeah.
Pulled right in front of it. And I said, what the fuck is this? And she's just looking. And she gives me the stupid eyes like, huh?
I don't understand.
What do you mean? But motherfucker, you're the one in school.
Yeah.
So I open them up and it's like missing, extra credit, 0. Why? Why is this 0? We just started. But why? You've been staying up and you have time to be on your Insta stories and sending messages.
Hayden's phone away a few times.
Yeah, but I've taken the phone away. I've given the spankings. I've taken computer away. I've taken TV away. None of that helped in 7th grade. So I sat there and in front of her school, I said, what can I do? I need to come up with something, you know? Carla, think. So I drop her off and I walk inside and I tell the before school people, you know what? She's not allowed to have any friends. There's no dance.
She's not having any
Before school and after school, she sits right here next to y'all and does schoolwork. That's it until I tell you guys further. And they're like, all right, cool.
Oh, my God.
So as I'm driving off, I stop again right there on Summerlin. And I said, it was like, ding.
Yeah.
Something really great came to my mind. I screenshot the thing. I said, oh, you have an Instagram. Oh, Instagram is important to you. Oh, you want to be the class clown. Yes. Well, no. I took the phone away, but her Instagram is open on mine. She doesn't have the password, and I have a login. I get everything. So I posted her grades, and I proceeded to write a great caption under it.
It was so great. That made my
So
whole
let's
day.
go into the caption. I posted it, and it shows her bullshit grades, and it says, hi, friends. I won't have a phone, access to Instagram, and can't go to anyone's birthday party because I have not been doing my schoolwork. I have been too busy doing everything but my work. Until my grades are all A's, I can't have fun with my friends. Period. The end.
Goodbye.
Done.
What'd she say? So now, like, the update of that.
So she didn't have her phone, and I'm at work. Like, I'm still mad all day. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong as a parent? I'm fucking failing.
I mean, that's kind of like
so
the
all of a
permanent.
sudden I start getting notifications, and all her friends like double tapping. Like, so liked your photo. So liked your photo. So by lunchtime, she has like 20 likes, and they're all friends from school.
I love it.
So I pick her up from school, and I got out the car because she doesn't have a phone, so now I have to get out the car and go get her, which is another sacrifice that I have to make. I gotta get out my goddamn car.
Oh, I have to drive 40 minutes every morning to get Hayden to school.
Oh no, fuck that.
Yeah, I know.
So I get out of the car, and she's walking. They called her to come, and she's walking with the only depressed attitude, like life is
Life
over.
is over, Mom.
And I proceed to tell her again, hey, so you're gonna be up here for the rest of the next 2 weeks in the front. You're not even gonna go hang out with friends. Like, this counselor knows you're up here. She's like, fine. So then we come home. She's not talking to me. She goes to sleep in the car. Of course, now I'm getting the silent treatment. I don't give a fuck.
No.
You don't gotta talk.
I think that's the biggest thing, like, just to not care.
Just,
I don't care.
I don't care. So then we're arguing here about something because she wants to do her schoolwork in her room, and I'm like, no, it's the dining room now. So she says something. She goes, by the way, thank you for telling 370-something people about my grades.
Oh, she's popping.
I said,
$370.
I said, how you know? Because my friends care about me. Oh, they care about you.
Unlike you, of course.
All right, so how about they care enough to make sure you're getting your fucking schoolwork done? How about they care about you enough to tell you, hey, did you turn in your schoolwork? Because there's other friends that are getting good grades, but not you? Or your friends bums like you? Which one is it? Because if not, we need new friends.
That's pretty hard.
And they ain't shit because they liking the picture.
So you know she's going to go to school and tell her friends that her mom said they ain't shit.
They ain't. She needs new friends because if
she
they're
does
not,
need new friends.
if they're not telling her to do her work, that means they're not doing theirs either.
But like I have a lot of friends and they make me do really bad things. So I'm like, I feel like we're being very judgmental right
makes
now.
you do anything. Thank you very much,
We
Jenna.
all support.
You support the shits.
I'm like, it just sounds like an adult version of what you're talking about.
No. We do it in spurts and weekends, you know? You still make sure that the business is open.
We still get our stuff done, yeah.
So, she can fuck off in school sometimes, but as long as these grades are good, I won't care. So this is part of the whole teenage thing and having a teenager and balancing it. So I'm thinking, how do we balance it? Because we just came back from Atlanta. We had a fucking great time.
Yeah, I have great time.
So we do so many things. We go on vacations. We balance us being women.
Yep.
and dating. And I can't talk too much about dating, but you can a little bit. How are you dating? Because, I mean, you've never been with his dad in the long term.
No.
So you've had to date and do all that. When do you know when to introduce someone? And how many have you introduced?
Okay, so I dated someone for like 6 years. So me and Hayden lived with them. Okay. So that was hard because I felt like Hayden was honestly the main reason we were together.
Because he's attached.
Yes, people can relate to in a lot of relationships, whether it's their dad or not. So that was hard to leave because it really was like choosing me over my child, because it was like, well, I get the fact that you're happy in this relationship, Hayden, but like you're 6 and I'm not happy and this is my life and I gotta go, you know?
Yeah.
So
the kid is happy, but they don't realize that in the long run they're gonna be very unhappy.
Yeah, exactly. So I left that relationship, and Hayden still asks about him.
Oh wow.
So that's a whole nother thing.
Is he completely like gone? Like,
yeah.
Deceased from your life.
Yeah, pretty much. And so that was one person. After that, I had a couple like casual, like he's probably met like three, 4 guys. Maybe.
How long do you wait? Because I had that issue.
I feel like it's a little different now that he's older, because now that he's 10, I feel like I would just be like, this is my friend. And Hayden does understand. Like, it's actually funny because I like was dating someone, but I would call them my friend. And he'd be like, no, that's my mommy's friend. And I would be like, okay, well, don't say that around him. Because he's going to be like, what the fuck are you telling me about? So, like, I feel like it's easier now. Like the other day, my battery stopped and like this guy came and helped us. So I'm like, this is mommy's friend.
Right.
Like, he's helping us.
Just a friend.
And so it's not like, oh, you're dating him or this and that. Like, he understands, like, I can have friendships with guys. So I probably would be a little bit more willing now to have him meet people. When he's younger, I don't feel like he really
meet friends or meet boyfriends?
Well, they'd be, even if I was dating them, they're my friend. Okay. It would take months to be like, we're dating. Okay. Yeah, and then before that, like, him not really understanding. I mean, I'd definitely date someone probably around 6 months or so to know, like, I'm really gonna be dating this person.
Now, how do you're 29, so you're almost 30, by the way.
No,
not again.
I just turned 29 like a month ago.
Which means you have less than a year before you're 30.
Whatever.
But relax, it's great. You're gonna love it so much more.
I'll be fine.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be amazing.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Okay.
How do you date now? You're busy as fuck. You have so she owns a salon, an amazing salon. So if you guys. Most of my listeners are on my social media. When I talked about going to wax and left with a lopsided vagina, half wax.
That's me.
This is her. She's the one that has her whole face in there all the time.
And spray tan.
And spray tan and all that stuff. So you're legit a businesswoman.
Yeah.
On your own. When the hell do you have time to date?
So, I get a lot of help from my mom and my friends. So I did have time to date. And I did date a lot, and I did, like, online dating and all that super fun stuff. Had, like, lots of fun things happen with that. Lots of fun things. But I just kind of, like, more recently came to the decision that although I do have the time to date and go online and meet lots of interesting characters, I've just chosen to spend that time, like, being in women's groups and doing volunteering.
You do a lot of that, which is
and
great.
Traveling, hang out with friends more. And I feel like I'm a lot more fulfilled in life from those experiences than dating. So I just haven't really done the online dating thing and recently.
But you think it's maybe the quality?
So the problem is I really struggle with it because I have a lot of clients. And, they're married, they're engaged, they're getting married, they're, like, meeting
all
boyfriends,
these happy bitches.
Parents, happy bitches everywhere. And they meet them online. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? I just make a joke that, like, I took all the bad ones. So I'm like, here you go, bitch. Here's a good one. You got him. Like, I'm not getting any of them. So, like, I'm like, you're welcome, bitch. Like, I took all the bad ones.
Fish them all out to sea.
So I see it working. But I think also, too, like, I was talking to my mom about this. And I think if you just work, like, a 9 to 5 and you don't work on the weekend, like, and you don't have kids and you're, like, living this, like, single
Not
life.
having kids is a big
oh, my God.
deal.
I would be on a date every day. Like, what else do you do with your free time?
Yeah.
Like, I would always
think
be
about
dating.
that for, like, the gym. If I don't have my kid, I can leave work, go straight to the
Go
gym,
to the gym.
come home,
It's
eat
a totally
whatever I
different
want.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you probably would meet someone. You've, like, increased your chances of meeting someone. Because the problem with online dating is, like, I'm not saying there's not good guys on there. You just have to go. It's like quantity. Like, you have to go through a lot of people to try and find, like,
the one.
a decent person. And I wasn't getting there.
So you didn't get to the quantity part. And the quality was
I
shitty.
didn't get to the quality part, no. I was just getting the quantity. And I was like, and then you feel guilty. Because I'm like, I also came to the realization, too, that was a big thing.
You're
like,
realizing a lot.
Yeah. I'm getting to 30. I'm just realizing life lessons left tonight. So I'm hanging out with these guys. I'm going on dates. And for the most part, like, it's not helping my life. Like, I can feed myself and I have attention and I do these things. And then I'm not spending time with Hayden when really, like, that's the most important person to me. So,
I mean, I feel like we all need a partner, but at the same time, everything else has to be in line.
Like,
for,
if I met
time.
someone that I felt was important and I wanted to invest in them and, like, I felt like we had a future together, yes, I would make time for them and sacrifice business or spend time with Hayden. Like, they would be an important part of my life and I would try and get to know them. But just dating random guys, like, here and there, having to entertain them, knowing, like, I'm not going to have a future with them or, like, they don't have qualities. I don't have time for that.
Once you realize it's
but
not going
you still
anywhere,
have to get to the point. And if you're talking to 12 guys at the same time, like, bro, I know it's a lot. Like,
what's the most you've talked to at the same time?
I don't know. Probably like 6 or 7.
At the same time?
Yeah.
So there is one that I know. So you were talking to a few different guys and you really don't know their history.
No.
So they're coming out of nowhere and you're like, all right, well, let's get to know each other. You don't know him from anywhere. There's just 3 pictures on Tinder or Hinge.
That's another thing too. This is what really fucking turned me off to online dating. Like, really, really, really. So I was dating this guy and he was lame and, like, I should not have even been dating him. But I was, and, you know, he knew Hayden and we had that whole little family
you kept
thing
dating
going
him even
on.
though you knew that he was lame?
I knew he was lame, but he was, like, lame for me, and I knew he wouldn't, like, cheat, and, like, I could trust him because he was lame. Like, he's not gonna get no bitches, you're lame. Like, stay home, bring me on dates, like, whatever. It was, like, comfortable, right?
You were comfortable.
I was comfortable, but I found, so I'm smart. I'm on his computer doing my stuff, going in my emails, getting my shit done, you know, business life, and his spam email is, like, open. So, like, I'm trying to go into my email. It's bringing me into his email.
Oh, it's
and
bringing,
so finally,
wait a minute, it's bringing you
like,
into his.
If I go to Yahoo, it's like, log into this account, right? Because it's his computer. It's set. It's like, go into this account.
So you have to go in
Of course. Duh. And I had been in it before, but it was like, oh, your Amazon order is coming. Or, like, you bought a game on Play. It's a spam email. So I'm in there, and there's plenty of fish notifications. So I'm like, okay, and I'm so fucking oblivious to, like, everything. So I'm thinking,
you're not.
It really, like, right off the bat when I saw those notifications, I was like, that's weird. But he probably still has a profile open because, you know, unless you deactivate them, they're not going to, like, be gone.
Which is a good way to think about it.
So that didn't even pique my interest, which I feel like immediately most girls would have been like, this bitch is online dating. Like, that didn't even get me there. But then it was like they're getting messages from people. So I was like, okay, well, you wouldn't be getting messages from people if you weren't on here online dating. So I am in his email. I go to the online dating site, reset his password because I'm in his email, go into the site and see him talking to women. So his pictures, he never wanted to travel. He was somewhat pretty cheap, didn't want to do too many things, like pretty antisocial. I don't know how the fuck I dated him, but whatever. So,
comfort.
Yeah. So in his fucking pictures on the dating site is shit that we did together that I made him do. So, like, we went jet skiing for the first time. It's this motherfucker on a jet ski. We went snorkeling. He didn't even want to go.
Who took the picture?
Me taking the picture.
Oh, okay.
He didn't even want to go snorkeling. I made him go snorkeling. Wouldn't even get off the fucking boat. I'm like out in the fucking reef. Like that's my shit. I fucking snorkel.
Now he's
like
on plenty
I
of fish
made
talking about
you
he's a snorkeler.
come with me, and he has fucking snorkel mask on. Like he's fucking cool as shit, right? He travels. He had a picture from when he went to China 10 years ago. Like, bitch, you don't even look the same. That was 10 years ago. Like, you don't travel. And that was one of the things we fought about. Right. And then I'm, like, looking at his pictures. I'm reading his bio. He had, like, a little, like, spot where, like, his hair was thinning, which was, like, definitely cut out. All his fucking pictures. Didn't see that in there. And I, like, it just kind of dawned on me that, like, this is what's happening. Like, these are men's online dating profiles. Like, this motherfucker's so lame, and he doesn't travel, and he doesn't do this shit. And I was like, holy shit. And he has a fucking girlfriend who's at his house on his computer while he's, like, talking to bitches. Like, you know what? And it's like a light bulb went off, and I was like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, this is stupid. And then I tried to do it because I was like, oh, that maybe lasted a few months. And then, like, I date some guy super casually. Fucking, like, girl is texting me, and I'm like, okay, I'm his wife. Oh, you're his wife. Okay, cool, great, thanks. Good to know. Like, and then that was, like, really, like, I'm done. I need a fucking break. Like, I'm not doing this shit.
I didn't even think of the when you dated the guy, the fact that his Plenty of Fish was so fake that's who you are now seeing on other
That's what
pictures.
I'm seeing, yeah.
Guys, oh, hell no.
And it makes sense. You're really, like I put that I travel because I fucking travel. And, like, I have these honest. 3 or 5 pictures of doing cool shit because I do a lot of cool shit. And, like, I don't feel like my page is fake necessarily. And maybe there is some people with, like, real pages, but I feel like probably, like, 99% of it is just these lame ass.
That's really fucking
probably
high.
90% are just these lame ass dudes like that. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is a waste of my time.
I did not even think about that.
That was when, like, a life. And then, like, that whole situation and, like, having someone's wife texting me, like, really? And then she was like, I know you didn't know. I'm like, yeah, bitch, I didn't know. Like, and I hadn't slept with him. I haven't been to his house. Like, it was super, like, casual, like, have a few lunches here and there. But I was just like, wow, like, this is what's really happening out here. I actually
dated someone who I went through his phone. I saw his emails, and it was Craigslist.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And it was like talking to people on Craigslist.
Oh, no.
And having conversations. I don't know that they ever actually met. I don't think, but it was more the attention
at
it.
Like, the clinic next day.
I don't think that, right, I was.
Like, test me for everything.
Everything. Even test my eyeball, bitch. Taste my eyeball, bitch, because I think it came in my eye. Wherever they come touch me. Check my lips, bitch. Like, everything. Take a culture. Is that what it's called?
I'm so done with you.
Girl, I was just thinking about it. Fucking Craigslist, bro. It's like, this is as bad as Backpage. But honestly, I feel like men sometimes just need the attention. So you have the ones that put the bad stigma for the ones that are really out there to get someone, who are maybe doctors or lawyers, and they're busy, or they're business owners and don't have time to go dating and they want to find someone online. But I feel like that, like you said, that is probably the small. And then I took
another shift in life too, because in terms of, like, dating or trying to find someone, I was using, like, online, but I also wasn't doing things to find someone to date in any other setting, really, if that makes sense. So to me, I'm like,
because if you're going to women's events, you're not going to see any men there.
Yeah, but, like, okay, I'm going to join the chamber and, like, the African American chamber, or go to more networking events and just be more social. Then I can be in settings to find someone and not have and see them face to face, and we have the same interests. So I was like, okay, well, if I can do that, I can probably have a way better chance than I'm having.
It's going to work out soon. By the way, guys, this all just happened recently. So she hasn't been trying for 5 years.
No, I'm not like, oh, I'm so tired of this.
No, it all just happened. So she will find someone very soon. The right one. But until then, we're cool with the shit.
Yeah, we're cool with the shit. Yeah.
So anyway, here's a recap. But just basically two single moms just talking about it's hard to be cool out here. And to be a cool mom, to be a dope woman.
And a balance, not feeling terrible all the time.
Yeah, it's guilty. Like, oh, do I feel guilty because I'm having a good time with myself without the kid? Like, we're traveling without them, but we can also travel with them, and we can do things. It's gonna happen. It's never really balanced. It's just making sacrifices for certain things. But anyway, we have another segment that we're gonna go into, and it's unsolicited advice. So basically, this segment is us giving advice to people that basically didn't fucking ask us for it, but we're gonna give it to them anyway because that's the fuck we do. We give unsolicited advice. And this one, let's do this one. It says, "How do I handle my boyfriend's crazy ex?"
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
This is
everyone's
who wrote
life.
this submission?
This one, oh shit. This one really, it happens to everyone. I feel like everyone has had someone that's had a crazy ex at some point in time, and they're just like dealing with it. So it says, "So this girl has been stalking and trolling me for a year and a half now, and I'm not sure how to handle it. I've been opting for the bigger person road, and I don't think I can continue for much longer. This girl has dragged my name for filth on social media, spread rumors that tarnished my reputation to people who I respected, and I'm just over it. She stalked me on every social media, added all my friends too. We all blocked her, but she continued to stalk me on LinkedIn." Bitch.
LinkedIn?
Do you?
I was in love with this man one time, and I lost his phone number, and I found him on LinkedIn. And I'm not ashamed. Okay, that's what I need to think of. It's a great tool, ladies.
LinkedIn. At least you know he got a job. Like, who does that? She said, like, who does that? You?
Me, bitch, me.
But you didn't stalk anybody.
No.
Anyway, she goes, "I get notifications when people view my profile. I don't know if she was ignorant or just didn't care at that point. My boyfriend thinks the best way to deal with it is to ignore her, but I disagree because she just won't go away. She just keeps at it. She tried dragging me here. My friend told me about the post she made, and I haven't even told my boyfriend about it because I really would think he would freak out. Anyway, I'm at home now for a few days, and I want to know whether I should contact her and give her a piece of my mind, or whether I should keep ignoring her and maybe she will get over the breakup in the next 5 years. I really need advice, please." When I was reading this, I'm like, okay, I know everyone has had a crazy ex. To me, the first thing is when someone is that crazy, I have a feeling that I would say maybe 90% of the time, the men are doing something. Do you believe that too?
Girl, I couldn't even hear what you were saying because all I kept thinking of is what the fuck is the boyfriend doing?
What is he doing?
And why does this bitch think this is okay? And and why is he not stopping this? And this just sounds like way too much drama, and it sounds like some shady shit that he's doing.
There are some crazy women out there. It can happen.
It can't. But honestly, I would leave. Personally, probably.
You'd be over it. She said what? 2 year or year and a half.
That sounds like a lot to me.
It's a LinkedIn, bro.
And to me, that situation, most of the time, the man has something to do with it.
Right. So my first thing was you need to verify that it's not him still making her believe something might happen, or that he's not giving her hints. Maybe not all the way, but maybe he'll still contact her or reply to the text messages whenever she's like, "I fucking hate you, I love," and he'll be like, "All right, cool." There's something. It might not. He might not think that he's doing it.
Yeah, I feel like something's going.
There's something. So first of all, find that. If not, if she really is that crazy, and he's not doing anything, she's not gonna stop. So unless this is your knight in shining armor,
I would be out.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
No.
And I'm going through it, and I'm 5.5 years in. Bitch still hates me and my kid for no reason. Never met me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can honestly say it's not good. When they're that crazy, it's not going to go away.
No.
And I can't really do much because there's a kid involved.
Well, and they have mental issues, obviously.
Yes.
And they're just using
it has to be
target.
A chemical imbalance in their brain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced it's a chemical imbalance. So I say either find out if he's doing something. If he is, leave. And if he's not, and she's just crazy, leave too.
And really too, I think she could really differentiate her not responding to her in a negative way and her actually just responding to her to figure out what's going on. Because she might respond to this girl, and this girl might be like, "I have this screenshot.
I got receipts.
I have that screenshot. I have this. I have that." So in her mind, responding would be like, "Bitch, fuck you. Don't do this. Don't drag my name, whatever."
Angry.
But it seems like it would be worth at least reaching out to her because she probably has some shit to say.
Yeah.
I think that would be worth a try.
She should try it.
Yeah.
Send her a text. Be like, "Hey,
let's talk.
What's up?
Yeah.
You want to talk? What do you need?
Yeah. What's the problem?
And
then you could probably really decide at that point whether she's just insane or if she really has some receipts.
Yeah. And then if it can come to a point where you can put a restraining order on someone.
But do you want to do all that?
If this is the man she really wants to be with,
Maybe I haven't been in love. I don't see myself doing this shit.
If she,
unless we're married.
Well, what if they want to get married? And it's to that point.
Well, if that's who you want to marry, boo. That's fine.
Which brings us to the next one. These two are trying to get married. That's what we can do for them. So she says, he doesn't want to marry me unless I cover a tattoo of my ex. Am I wrong for how I feel? My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. Yesterday was the first time we sat down and had a real conversation about the possibility of marriage. We're both ready to move forward, but according to him, he doesn't feel right, and we can't move forward until I get my tattoo covered. What he is referring to is I have a tattoo on my back of my ex and my son. It's literally just a picture of my son and father holding hands, walking into the gates of heaven, and under it has their names. He says I need to show him that chapter in my book is closed, at least covering the names because it bothers him seeing another man's name on my body every day.
I can see that.
You can see that. Mm-hmm. Here's the kick.
Oh, shit.
I will understand if it's some simple ratchet tattoo, but it isn't. I had my son when I was 17. When he was 14 months, he was with his father when they were in a major car accident, killing them both.
Oh.
It took a long time to get over it, but I am now 26 and past that point in my life. I would understand if it was something I got to in a relationship or something he would continuously talk about, but it isn't. I got this a little after it happened and only mentioned it when we first got together due to him asking about my past relationship. I don't see why it's a big deal now or how it could be considered disrespectful to my future husband. I don't want to move on because I dearly love this man and I could truly see a future together, which is why we're talking about marriage. But at the same time, I just don't get it. Bro, at first, I'm like, when I first...
I'm like, yeah, just take it off.
This shit off.
I wouldn't take it off.
I wouldn't. So at first I'm like,
and
wow.
if you want, I feel like this could be like a red flag moment. Like if you really think that that's going to be your husband and you guys can't like make compromises and he can't like see where you're coming from and understand how you feel about, and he's just like, no, like that shit's probably going to keep leading on. Like this isn't going to be the first time where he's going to be like, if you don't do this, I'm going to have a problem. Like that just sounds like a red flag to me.
Right, because I feel like I can see how him seeing the name, it's like it's bothering him, and it's seeing him.
If that was a potential of you being with them, or like you had ties to them.
But he's dead.
He's dead, and you had a kid with him. Like, and that's just a whole nother story.
It's a whole nother story. Then I thought about, you know what? Sometimes you have to compromise for someone you want to be with. So maybe the name, taking it off. Because she did say that he would compromise for maybe the name being taken off.
Like the guy's name.
Yeah, the guy's name.
Okay. So
I'm like, you know what? If you're saying you really don't want to move forward and it's bothering him that bad, he didn't say take the whole thing off.
Yeah.
He just said the name. He just want to see the name. So I figured maybe you can it can be both of their picture, but just the son's name.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility, just to say, you know what? I'll give you something, but you need to respect how I feel as well. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to take them both off because if he didn't die, he probably would have been here and you wouldn't have been along. So you need to say thank you to him and to God for taking him early. Now you got this good pussy.
Thank God. You're an asshole. I could see that.
Yeah, so I definitely thought the same way you did. But after reading it over and over again, because I was like, just no, fuck you.
Fuck you, yeah.
If you can't get over the fact that they're both dead and he can't, unless he's coming from the dead and biting your toes or something.
No.
But I can see that the fact that she can probably delete his name.
Like, it's a man's name on your girl.
But then I was like, oh, it's not like he got the name and her pussy lip or something.
Yeah.
It's just on her back. But and maybe she's wearing a dress.
From the back, he's going to see that every time.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. It's like just staring down at
It's like he's beating up like Jose. Yeah, Jose.
That's the first thing I was like, where is it?
I didn't. Oh, from the back. Yeah, that might be hurtful.
That's kind of weird.
Oh, I like you should come do my advices with me more often.
You like my advice? That was great. I'll just come for that.
You gave great advice to these people.
That's what I do all day at the salon.
You know what? The first girl, leave them. No matter what's going on, leave them.
That just sounds like a lose-lose situation to me. I don't have time for crazy. Like, I don't like drama. I don't like fighting. I don't want to deal with no crazy bitches. Like, and here's the thing I learned from a guy one time. Before he got drunk and tried to FaceTime me masturbating. But before that, we had great social interaction. So, like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, that was out of left field. Imagine how fucking surprised I was, Carla. Like, okay, great. So we were talking, and he was talking about, like, how men and women think differently.
Correct.
So I feel like as women, we just equate, like, even if you're talking to 3 guys, like I'm talking to Joe, Alex, and Marcus, my life is those 3 guys. And, like, I'm having all these issues and, like, oh, he's doing this and he's doing that. Which one am I going to be with? Or even if you have one guy, your life is that one guy. But, like, he kind of broke it down to me, which I agree. Like, men don't really have that. Like, they'll have a girl, but they know that there's other girls. And that's why they're willing to, like, move so easily for their jobs or, like, focus on their career. Like, they know that they can have, like, at 45, okay, I've gotten where I want to be
Definitely
in life.
at 45.
And I'm going to go find some, like, 26-year-old, and she's going to be the love of my life. Or, like, they know that, like, at any time, really, they can just go, like, find who they want. And, like, they'll have a girl, and they'll think she's cool, and, like, she might even be, like, down for them and love them.
Everyone, though.
I feel like it's a good majority of guys.
No, men fall in love. There's emotional men out there.
They do fall in love. But I think whereas women are like, I've fallen in love with you. I'm your ride or die. Like, oh, you're going to take this job? Let's go. Like, what are we going to do? I feel like men will be more willing to love someone.
I think it's more.
And know, like, I can leave them and I'll find someone else to love. Like, there's a lot of women. So it
might be more prevalent for women to ride or die. I understand, but I think men do the same thing. It's just, it's looked down upon society-wise when men are, like, all about their women. I feel like they're like, oh, well, you're the man. Like, you're the one supposed to be in charge. You know, I think society puts that on them where they have to be tougher.
Yeah.
And they can't show all those emotions and how soft they are inside. And I feel like they are, and they suppress that maybe pain or the fact that they want to be with one, hopping on to the next girl.
Yeah.
So if society wasn't so hard on them, they probably would stick around and do more of the
They get over it pretty quickly, though.
No, I feel like men get over it quickly and then later on regret it. And that's when they see the girl then happy, married with kids. They're like, oh my God. You know, I just spit all my drink over here. Anyway.
I got you off guard.
You threw me off guard with that whole
So the girl dealing with the crazy guy. There's other guys. Like, you don't, like, just because you like him and you love him or whatever, there's guys that you can find to equally love that don't have a crazy bitch that's stalking you.
That's easier said than done. She's in love.
See, again, maybe I haven't been in love because I'm not down with that shit. Like, I'm out.
You're out quite quickly. Anyways, tell everyone the name of your salon and where they can find you. She can wax you guys. She's great at waxing. She talks to you while she's in there, and balls too. So if you want, you get your balls waxed.
Also. It's fun time.
No, but what is your salon doing? What's all that good stuff?
So it's called Catalyst Salon, and we're in the Mills 50 district, which I absolutely love. Whoop, whoop. And we have hair, tanning, spray tanning, waxing, lashes, and we're going to add teeth whitening soon.
Ooh.
So I'll just be walking around here with my pearly white teeth, smiling at everybody. Guinea pig? Of course you can, Carla. And we're in Mills 50, so like 1792, like Highland area, and you should come check us out.
What's
and we
Instagram?
have Instagram. It's catalyst.salon. It's our Instagram. We just hired like social media person. Ooh. So our Instagram is going to be bomb.
It's going to be lit.
Pretty soon it's going to be so bomb. I'm so excited. But yeah, come follow us.
Perfect. So go and follow them and then go get all your stuff from them if you are in the Orlando area.
And we can talk about men and bullshit.
Yeah, she talks about great stuff while you're getting waxed.
And I can tell you my good stories that I couldn't say in here.
Anyways, we do have the live show coming up October 20th. Tickets are still available. You go to shitim30.com, shitim30.eventbrite.com. shitim30.eventbrite.com. Yes! It's going to be a loud gallery. We're going to have a bunch of raffles and giveaways, drinks, and fun times. And we have some guests coming from out of town as well. I'll be announcing those soon. So if you have any questions about the live show, hit me up. And I was here with Jena this week. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.